Alrighty. Hello and welcome everybody to this Dinosaur talk. Dinosaur focused, of course, as that's the only thing I do. What protection spell is right for you? You might be wondering, there's a lot of them. Do I prefer one over the other? What are the reasons? We're going to go into that. Of course, this is not a protection spell. This is the new hulking raptor. We're going to be getting it as a dinosaur. Lost Caverns of Ixalan. My bet is that it probably has protection built in, hexproof or ward, so that's going to be nice to have an extra big scary dino. One of my favorite ways to do it. However, we got a new protection spell coming up with Royal Treatment in a couple days, releasing with Wilds of Eldraine for 1 green. Target creature you control gains hexproof. Lovely. Usually you're saving something against targeted removal, but you might also want that indestructible part, which Royal Treatment does not have. However, it has the new Royal Roll token. We attach it to that creature, gives them +1/+1 and ward, which I think is going to feel pretty nice. A little bit extra chance of that creature surviving maybe just one turn sooner. That ward 1, making the opponent pay an extra 1 to target it, could be all we need. But I do love packaging hexproof and indestructible, any spell that does that. So we're going to go over that right about now. Okay, starting off at the beginning, all this stuff for 1. Blossoming Defense, very fantastic, and sometimes Blossoming Defense might be more preferable. 1 green to save a thing and also give +2/+2. If you're playing with Xenagos or something that doubles power or has double strike, that is going to be one of the most efficient ways to save a thing and do extra damage. However, I think Tyvar's Stand is probably my favorite. Worst case scenario, you top deck this, you get to sink all available mana into it, making a creature as big as possible. And again, if you have double strike or Xenagos, something like that, it becomes extra efficient, and you also gain that indestructible part. You get a trade with something that has death touch, you don't have to worry about that. It's very lovely stuff indeed. Definitely my favorite at the moment. You never know, we could have something else that comes out in a later set that maybe pushes Tyvar's Stand out of the way. Usually though, it is cast for a single green, so that makes me wonder if maybe sometimes Blossoming Defense could be a little bit better. Then of course there's Tamiyo Safekeeping. I think that is probably the best, second best, potentially. Gain a bit of life. You get that package of hexproof and indestructible. At the moment I'm using 4 Tyvar Stand and 2 Tamiyo Safekeeping. The early dinos and the early non-dino creatures, they die to removal, as you guys may have seen. Oh, crazy. Painful. But as long as we keep them alive, the past few nights as I've been re-adding this protection, that definitely has done the trick. The early stuff stays alive. We get to the later stuff, which the opponent might not be able to do much about. With Carnage Tyrant, that does the trick. Indestructible definitely on these is nice. Since the opponent can't target them, they might combine blockers. Could be 2 Blood Tithe Harvesters for a total of 6 damage. Trading with the Carnage Tyrant, very painful stuff. Or Shieldred, something with death touch, trading with it. So we don't as much need the hexproof part, but we may more often need that indestructible right there. I threw in Wild Shape just because I wanted to talk about it. It's 1 green. We can give hexproof to something. We make it into a turtle, which is kind of funny. But in a pinch, if we have a big dino, some big creature that we want to get trample, because it is so massive, we actually make it into an elephant. Then we connect with a bunch more damage. Its base power might be 5/5 or something more than Wild Shape, the 3/3 elephant, but that's okay if they were going to be jump blocked anyways. I think that's definitely worth it. And the reach, of course, that could certainly come in handy. Surprising pesky angels or spirits or something there. I've always wondered about it. I might try it sometime down the line. And certainly Wild Shape in foil is lovely with those animals there that would glisten beautifully. Gaea's Gift, I've used it in the past, probably 6-ish months ago. It does a lot of stuff, you must admit. Costs twice as much as potentially Tyvar's or Blossoming Defense, but you get the counter, so that increase in power stays around. You have Reach, Trample, Hexproof, and Indestructible. The Trample, very important. Tyvar's, you make a thing big, but you might not connect through with all that damage. Feels pretty bad. So with the power sticking around a little bit, the Trample, the Reach, the Hexproof, Indestructible, it's kind of like a supercharged wild shape. But again, if all you need is the thing to stay alive, you may only have one, boom, these things. This could mess you up. And sometimes it did mess me up about 6 months ago. That was not so great. But great potential. Does a lot of stuff, I must say. And of course, I gotta mention Heroic Intervention. I don't really ever use it. I don't face too much stuff with sweepers. That's mostly why. And I've got a lot of durable things anyways. Usually I have to save one thing. So I might as well spend 1 mana instead of 2 mana. But of course the opponent could have lots of Death Touch creatures, multiple. So I may want Heroic Intervention at some point. But right now is not the point. I'm happy with good old T-Rex and Carnage Tyrant combined. Maybe you guys, if you haven't seen it already, join me live and you'll get to witness the awesome and ultimate power of dinos. So,
don't forget to like and subscribe for fantastic, calm dino action.
Alrighty, see you next time. And remember,
ruthless aggression.
peace.